Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create the linkage bracelet. This was designed by Sleepless Loomer. She does have an Instagram, which I will link down below, as well as a playlist for designs I've done for her in the past. She's a good friend of mine, and she is also a very long time loomer. She does some really cool designs and color combinations, so don't forget to check her out. This one here is actually her original hook-only bracelet, and I was able to convert it to be made on the Rainbowloom using 8 pins. So I love this design. I think it's super cool. It does have a good amount of steps to it, but it works out rather quickly in my opinion. I feel like everyone will be able to make it as long as you just follow along with me. With that being said, you will need 278 bands. The breakdown is 60 of this clear on the side, 86 of these clear in the center, but I will be using white today, 90 of the red, and 42 of the green. You will want to have anywhere from 3 to 5 C-clips. You can use either amount to close it, and I'll show you those options later. And you'll need your hook. To get started, you're going to have 2 bars set up aligned, have the openings facing to the right. Make sure they're aligned right next to each other. We're going to be working with 8 pins right here. I like to choose 8 in the middle of the loom. I do remove the base from the bottom so that the bracelet can grow out between them. So have your loom set up like this, and then we're going to start choosing our colors. So I'm going to do a little bit different than I did here, just so you guys can see exactly what's going on. I'm going to use a more opaque clear for my border. I'm going to use a pink for these links right here, where the clear is, and right here. And then I'll use white for this link. I will go over that again, but right now we're just grabbing these 2 border colors. So grab your border color, which is going to be my opaque clear. And on the outer row of those 8, we're going to twist a figure 8. And then we're going to lay 1 going straight across. We're going to come to the opposite end of those 8 and do the same thing. Twist it on like a figure 8. And then lay it straight across on top. Choose your middle link color right here. I'm going to use white for that. We're going to twist a figure 8 on the front center too. And lay 1 straight across. We're going to temporarily stop laying bands, and we're going to flip the bottom band up on all of those pins. It's going to create a cat band for later. So grab the bottom band on these 2. Flip it up. Come over to the right. Do the same thing. And the left. Push that down. And just so you know, we're just getting things started. I'll let you know when the actual pattern starts. We have to do some things a little different the first round. So now we're going to grab the link that sits right here and right here. I'm going to use pink for those links. We're going to twist them on like a figure 8 as well. So the space that's right here and here is where we're going to be twisting a figure 8 on. Like that. And like that. Push that down, and we are going to keep those colors close by because we will be alternating. But now we're going to choose our first color of actual like pattern bands. I don't know what to call them, but our red and our green. The red is what we're going to be laying right now. Now, as you can see, they are laid in groups of 3. I like to have piles set up next to me in like little piles of 3, so I can just grab the whole pile. You don't have to do that. It just makes it easier so you can just grab them and not keep picking 3 out at a time. But we're going to lay these 3 bands right on top of the pink that we just laid. We're going to lay it straight across. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite pin where we laid the other pink. I do try to get them to lay straight when I lay them. It doesn't always work. So I do come in with my hook if they're not laying straight, because it looks better if the bands are not twisted. I will say though, with this bracelet, you will have to fix things in the end. There's just no other way around it, unfortunately, so be warned of that. So after you lay those, you're going to have to grab another link band, and you're going to grab whatever link band you used on these pins here, because we have a lot of different link colors. So the pink is the one that I used for that row there, so I'm going to grab pink again and lay that straight across. And do that on this one too. There will always be a link band on the bottom and on the top of our red and green bands. So now we're going to do some looping. On the same pins that we laid those bands on, we're going to be flipping up the bottom pink, which is the 4th band down. It's actually the 5th band. I keep saying 4th, but it's the 5th band down. Sorry. So I'm going to start on this outer one right here, grabbing the 4th band, looping it up. Do the same on this one here, looping it up. It's just creating another cat band. We're going to do the same thing on this one right here. So you're going to grab the 4th one down. And one more time. So make sure you do push them down. We're going to do a little bit of rearranging for a second. So we're going to grab this top pink right here, and we're going to loop it to the right and just reconnect it onto that pin there. Do the same to this left one. Loop it out. We're going to grab the link color that we used for the center, so the white right here. We're going to lay that straight across the 2 center pins. Now we're going to loop on that same center pins. So we're going to go inside the red opening right here, and we're going to grab the bottom white. We're going to loop that white up and over. We're going to do the same to this pin right here, so go right in the center of the opening of the red bands. This one's a little harder because you kind of have to like push the red bands like that in order to grab that bottom white, but you're looping it up the same way. So the step that we have to do right now, we will not do in the future. It's just for this first row. We have to take this top white band off of the pin for a minute. Make sure you do not lose that. If you want to sit it back there for a second, you can. But we need to remove the 3 red bands from this front pin. You can just use your fingers and pop it off like that. And now reattach the white band on. You may have to like hold it in the middle to get it reattached because there is a lot of tension. If you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, grab the white band and just move it up here. And now you can remove these 3 with your hook. Just make sure you bring that white band back to the front pin. All right, so we're going to move on, and now we're going to lay our center green bands. So make sure you're grabbing 3 of those. We're going to lay them straight across the centers. Make sure they're nice and straight. We're going to grab a link band, whatever link color you used on that center row, and lay it on top. So my center link will always be white. So like I said earlier, there will always be a link band on the bottom and on the top. So now we're going to loop the bottom link band up and over. You're just grabbing the 4th band down, bringing it up, and doing the same on this one. It might seem like a lot of steps, you guys, and it is a lot of steps, but once you start seeing the pattern over and over, I promise it does get easier, and I'll make sure you can follow timestamps, and like, you won't have to memorize anything if you don't want to. You will be able to continue watching me, so hopefully you're not too intimidated by this because it does get easier. All right, so after you loop the white up and over, we're going to grab this top white band from the center. We're going to take it off of the pin without any twisting. We're going to sit it up here. Do the same thing to this left side, grabbing the white band, taking it off of the pin, and sitting it back here. Throughout the making of this bracelet, we do often have to move things and then bring them back. It's just how it has to be done. So after you move the white, we now need to bring these pink ones and put them back on these pins. So I'm going to grab the top pink from this pin here and open it back up. And do the same on this right one. And now we're ready to loop these green bands. We're going to loop them up and over the pin and over the pink. So you can grab it here or you can grab it here. It doesn't really matter where you grab it. We're going to do the right one first. Grab all 3 of them, and I very gently flip it over the pin and over the band until it gets behind the pin like that. Do the same to the left side. Grab the entire 3 bands and flip it up and over. Push it down a little bit. We now need to grab our link bands for this row right here. That's my pink. So if you didn't know what color you used, you can see whatever color band is attached on top is the color you're grabbing right now. You're going to lay that straight across on those. And now we're just going to flip the pink up and over. So it is the second band down. You're going to flip it over like that. And do the same on the outer row, grabbing the second band down. And doing the same on this side. Like that. So we need to do a little rearranging again. This time we're going to grab the outer part of that pink band right here. Without any twisting, take it off of the pin and bring it up here to the back. Come on the left side, grab the outer pink band, take it off of the pin and sit it back here. It should look like this. We're now going to work with the borders. Just to reiterate, this first row is a little different than how it will be in the future, but we're going to come to the outer pin right here, and we're going to go inside the top 3 red, grab the very bottom band, and loop it forward to the pin right here. Do the same to the left side, going inside the red opening, and looping that bottom band to the pin behind it. Push them down in the back. And we're going to remove the red bands from the front pin. So grab all 3 of them, and I like to carefully pop it over the pin and let it go. Do the same on this side. We now need to flip the bottom band on the back 2 pins. There's only 2 bands on there. So if you can see right here, these 2 clear, you're just going to grab the bottom band and flip it up. On the left side, you have to do it from inside because of the way that the pin's facing. So just grab the bottom clear and loop it up. If you have to turn the loom around like this, these are the 2 pins that we just flipped the bottom band up and over on. So with the loom facing the correct way, like this, so the openings are facing the right, we're going to grab another one of our border band and lay that straight across on both of those outer rows. And once again, we need to loop up the bottom band on the back pins. So right here, loop it up and over, and right here. In order to get it ready to start the next round, we do have to do one more step with the border, and that's going to be looping this band right here up here to the pin above it. Now I do like to push the back down some because it is going to be really loose when you go to take this off. We're just going to grab this band here, and you do need to reattach it, sorry it got blurry, to the pin right here. But because it's so loose, it is kind of hard to get it reattached. So you kind of want to like anchor it from the middle as you go to loop it up and attach it like that. Now this isn't something you guys really need to pay attention to, but every time I do that, sometimes these bands are like this, like kind of twisted. I always like to turn it just a little bit so that the band opening, you see where the 2 bands come together? So where they're like in line with the pin. That's not a big deal, it's just something I do. All right, so one more thing we need to do to finish off this section is we are going to grab the top back pink right here, and we're going to bring it to the front like this. So we are officially ready to start the pattern. So we will start by grabbing my red, my 3 bands, and we will lay them right on top of the pink here. Don't forget to lay it on both sides, like so. Grab your link band for those rows. My link band is whatever color is underneath right now, which is pink. And you lay that on top. Remember, you always lay a link band on top of our red and our green. Whoops, let's try that again. Okay, so now we're going to loop the bottom band up on all 4 of these front pins, and it will be my pink. It's the 4th band down, the very bottom one. You're just going to loop it up and over like that, and do the same on this side. Push it down a little bit. We're going to grab the top pink from these front rows. we're going to loop it outwards. Do the same to the left one. Move it out. We're now going to bring that white band that we had sitting back here, we're going to bring that to the front. So without any twisting, I'm just going to take the left side of the white band off of the back pin and move it to the front. And then I'm going to grab the right half, pick it up, and move it to the front. Now we're going to loop the red bands up and over. And this is the first time that you're going to see it done this way. This is how it will be done for the remainder of the bracelet. So we're going to grab the 3 red bands right here. We're going to loop it over the pin and over the white, flipping it behind it like that. I try to do this very meticulously so that I don't twist the bands, but I grab all 3, I bring it up and over the pin, over the white band, and sit it behind it. Push it down some. We're now going to grab our link band for that row, which is white. You can see it right there. We're going to lay that on top. And we're going to loop the bottom white over like this. We're now going to lay our center bands, so that's my green, and we're going to lay them straight across the center. And then on top, you have to grab another link band. Just make sure you're grabbing whatever link band you have on the bottom, because they should match. And we're going to loop the bottom up and over. After looping it up and over, we need to move this white band to the back pins. So I'm going to grab this top white. Without any twisting, we're going to sit it back here. Like so. We now need to open these pinks back up. So I'm going to grab the top outer pink, open it back up and sit it on top of the green, and do the same on the right side. And now we need to flip the green up and over, the same way we did it the first time and the same way we did the red. So I'm going to grab all 3 of these green bands right here, and I'm going to bring it up and over the pin and flip it behind it, and do the same for the left one. Like so. We now need to grab our link bands for this row, and you can see that pink is already on there, so we're just going to lay it right on top. And now we're going to loop the link bands. So you're just going to grab the second band down on all 4 of the front pins, like this. It should look like that. So now we need to move the outer pinks. We're going to move them up here. So grab the top pink on this outer pin and move it like so. Do the same to the left one. And now we're going to work on the borders again like we did. Well, not exactly like we did, but we're going to work on the borders. So we are first going to grab our clear band. And you're going to see the difference here. We're going to lay that clear border band on the outer row like this. We now need to loop 2 bands up on the back pins. I am going to turn my loom around just this once so you can see it from this way. You can see that there's those 2 bands right there. They need to come up and over. Now this right side's a little trickier because of the direction that the opening is facing, but just get your hook in there enough to where you're grabbing that little chunk. Make sure you have both bands on your hook and just flip it up and over. Do the same to this side, grabbing the 2 bottom bands and flipping it up. I'm going to turn my loom back around. I usually just keep it like this, and I just grab the 2 like this, and you'll see me do that in the future rounds. After you flip them up, we now need to flip the red up and over. So we're going to grab these 3 right here, flip it over the pin, and then let it go. You'll see that this time it gets caught on that band. It didn't look like that the first time we did it. Do the same thing on the left side. I do try to keep them from twisting, but again, it's not always possible to do so. After you do that, we're going to grab this band right here and loop it to the back pin and reattach it. That's the part you want to do carefully. You may actually want to push it down before you even do that. You don't want to lose this border band. Once you move that back, we need to loop the bottom band again. So there's only 2 bands back here right now. You're just grabbing the bottom one, looping it up. Do the same on the left one, loop it up. You will notice that there's a lot more to the border this time, and it's because there is a double border on this bracelet, so we're kind of doing like 2 different things. So after you loop that band up, there's only 1 band up on the outer rows, and the last part that we have to do is lay another border band. We're going to loop the bottom band up on the back pin. Do that on both the right and the left. So it's looking like that. And to finish off the border, we're going to grab the front and move it to the back. Do the same on the left side, like so. So I know the border may seem like a lot of steps, but just keep following along. Hopefully you guys will be okay. So to get prepared for the next section, we're going to grab this pink band back here and move it to the front. Without any twisting, we're just simply moving the bands around. And now we are officially ready to start our next section. Alright, so to start off, we're going to start laying our red bands on the front pins here. So we lay the red on the right and the left, like so. I'm just going to straighten mine out. We have to put a link band on top, so I used pink for this part of the link bands. We're going to loop the bottom band up and over on all 4 of the front pins. We're going to rearrange, so we're going to grab the top pink and move it to the outer right. Do the same to the left side, just moving it to the outer pin. We need to bring the white band from back here to the front. So move that up here. We're going to flip the red bands up and over. So grab all 3 and carefully pop it over the pin and over the white. Do the same to this side. Push it down a little bit and grab your center link band, which is my white. And we're going to loop the bottom band up and over on the centers. Now we're ready to lay our green band. So grab all 3 of them and lay it straight across, like so. Don't forget to grab your link band and lay that on top. The link band should match your bottom layer. We're going to flip up the bottom band on that same 2 center pins, like so. We're going to grab the top band and move it to the back. And now we're going to move the outer pink and open them back up to sit in the middle. We are ready to flip the green up and over, so grab all 3 of them. Flip it over the pin and over the pink. Do that on both sides, like so. I like to push it down a little bit. We're going to grab our link band for the side pins. Lay that on top. And now we will flip the second band down, up and over. Do that on all 4 pins, like so. We're going to move the outer pink band to the middle, like this. so that we can loop our borders. So we're going to grab our border link, which is my clear. Sorry, my printer just went off. Lay that across. We're first going to loop the back border bands over. So there's 2 bands underneath the band we just laid back here. So grab the entire chunk right there of 2 bands and flip it up and over on both of those outer rows like that. We're going to now loop the red up and over. So grab all 3 red, flip it over, and let it go. Do the same on this one. I like to kind of roll my wrist with it. See how my bands look nice and straight? I try to do that every time. After that's flipped over, we do need to bring this band forward and attach it. Like so. We now need to flip the bottom band. Out of those 2 bands, you're grabbing the bottom one and just flipping it up. Repeat on both sides. Remember, there's a double border, so we need to lay the clear again, like this. You're going to flip up the back bottom band. And lastly, we're going to bring the back to the front and reattach. Like so. To prepare the next section, we're going to move this pink and bring it back here to the front. Like so, and we are ready to start the next section. So let's go ahead and start the next row. We will always start by laying our red bands. So I got 3 of my red, stretch it across. We're going to lay our link band on top, which is my pink. We're going to remove the bottom band on all 4 of the front pins. We're now going to move the top pink and loop it outwards. And now we need to move the back white back to the front. Once you move it to the front, we can flip the bottom red bands up and over. Push it down a little bit. Grab a white link, whatever band link you used right here, lay that on top of the center. Loop it up and over on the center, the bottom band. Now we're going to grab our 3 center bands, which is my green. Stretch them across. Lay a link band on top. And loop up the bottom band. Like so. We're going to move that white to the back. And move the pink back to sit on top. So go to the sides and open them back up. And now we can flip over the bottom green band. So we'll grab the bottom 3 right here, loop it up and over. Repeat on this one. Push it down a little bit and grab your pink link band. We're going to lay that right on top. And then we're going to loop the second band down on all 4 of those front pins. we need to move the outer part of the pink so that we can loop the borders. So we're going to grab these outer parts, move it to the middle. Now we're going to grab our border bands. So you will always need 4 for the borders because we have a double border. So we will lay 1 straight across on both sides. We are going to flip the 2 bottom bands on the back pin up and over. We're going to flip the reds up and over from the front. Make sure you have all 3. Push it down after you do that. We need to grab the front of the band and move it to the back pin. We're going to loop the bottom band up and over. There's 1 band on the back border pins now, so we now need to lay our second border the same way. Loop the back band up again. Push it down. You might want to anchor it. We're going to bring this back band or front band, however you want to look at it, to that pin up here, like so. The last step of the section is moving this back pink top band right here to the front, and that's just to get us prepared to be able to start the next section. Like so. Push that down some and we're ready to start our next section. So you can just grab from the bottom as it starts to grow like this. Don't worry if you see anything twisting, we will fix all that. But for now, what you're going to do is go to this timestamp right here. It's going to pick up right where we're leaving off. Go back, watch those same instructions over and over again until your bracelet is long enough to fit your wrist. Once you're back at this point again and your bracelet is long enough, I'm going to show you how to close it up. So we will start with our red because that's the next one in line. Lay that across. We're going to lay our link band on top. We're going to flip the bottom band up and over on all 4 pins. We are now going to bring this top pink to the outer row like we've done before. But we are now going to attach a C-clip to those 2 top pink bands on those rows. So grab 2 of your C-clips. So you're going to attach them like that to the top 2 pink ones. It was easier for me to do off screen, sorry. And then I'm going to remove them like that. And in the introduction, I told you 3 to 5 C-clips. If you only have 3 C-clips, the only difference is that you're not going to be attaching a C-clip to this pink band right here. If you actually just removed that pink band that my C-clip is on, this will not fall off. It's attached, this pink band is attached to the red. So you technically don't have to have that. It would look like this right there. I put another pink band through so that I have C-clips going all the way across, but I just wanted to point that out. All right, so once you do that, push it down a little bit, just try to get it out of the way, and we're going to move this white back to the center. Now we're going to flip the bottom red band up and over on those 2 pins. So just act like the C-clip's not there on the pink band. Grab all 3 of these red. Carefully flip it up and over onto the white and over the center pin like we've been doing before. Like that. And now we need to bring these 2 whites together so we can put a C-clip on it. You want to do this carefully. I like to grab the left one, take it off of the pin and stretch it over to the right so both whites are together, and we're going to attach a C-clip to that as well. like so. I popped it off with the pin. When you pop it off, be careful that you don't lose that. You don't want it to unravel. It wouldn't continue unraveling. It would actually stop, but you would have to figure out how to get it back in there. All right, so the last set of C-clips we're going to do is grab a border band and lay that straight across the outer row like so. We're going to flip the 2 bands up in the back on both sides. And now we're going to flip the bottom red in the front up and over. And now we're just, you can technically bring these to the back and C-clip it or bring it to the front. I'm just going to bring them to the front so you guys can see. Doesn't matter which way you do this part. We're just going to bring both ends together. And we're going to add a C-clip onto these 2 and these 2 bands in the front. Like so. Once you make sure that they are clearly attached, pop it off. The borders are the ones you do want to be careful for because they will all unravel. And now you can pull your bracelet out. Yours is going to be a lot longer, but go ahead and pull it out from your loom. All right, so what you're going to want to do is you will need to pull it like left to right a little bit just to help things fall into place a little bit. Your cat bands right here will straighten out once it's connected to the C-clip, like it will balance that part of it out. But what you will need to do for this design is go through, you can see see how those are laying nicely. Some of them will not be, unfortunately, and you will have to go through and just move them around basically to get them to sit in a nice straight line. So that's the only part of this bracelet that does take time. There was one other way I could have showed you on the loom that would keep the center ones a little straighter, but it was a lot harder to do and it took more time. Plus you would still have to fix the red ones anyway. So you're just going to go through. I see that that red band is on top, so on the outer row here, I just need to pull it to sit on top. And you do that to each one of them until you get it as nice and clean looking as you want it. Once you do that, I'm not going to go through and fix all of mine right now, but once you do that, you're just going to locate each one of our rows that have a C-clip correlates with a cat band down at the bottom. My piece is too small to connect it, but this outer C-clip right here is going to connect to the outer cat band right there. The second one in will connect to this one. The center one will connect to the center cat band, and the same for the 2 outer ones over here. So in other words, it will be connected like that. I'm sure you guys would have all known that anyway. I'm going to put my small little piece to the side, but that is how you create this super awesome linkage bracelet created by my good friend Sleepless Loomer. Don't forget to tag her and myself if you do make this bracelet. I will have the tags linked at the bottom of this screen. Head over on Instagram and tag us on there if you make one. We would greatly appreciate it. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.